And here we have a Hoover Matic. I just got done refurbishing this today. And it's like, despite what collectors have said about them, I found that the motor wasn't quite as hard to work on as I thought it was going to be. Although I did screw up a little bit with that. For starters, I should have taken a picture of how the field coil was plugged in before I started disassembling it, and I didn't. Fortunately, though, I posted to a collector's Facebook group and somebody knew the correct wiring for it. I think I need to clean this bumper. Anyways, he knew the right wiring for it, so I got that fixed. And then I was trying to reinsert the motor into the casing, and everything wasn't fitting quite like it should. And that's when I discovered that there's a... Well, it's... The Hoover motors in this era were kind of built backwards, because usually the exhaust comes out where the belt shaft is, but on these, it's the opposite. So the air actually flows in where the belt shaft is, which I think is... Yeah, it's on this side. So it's like the air comes down and then goes through that, and then is exhausted over on this side. It's a weird setup. But yeah, it's like, so I had to re-drill the rivets back out of that bearing plate and readjust it so it went in right. Yeah. And I didn't replace the foam that's up here just because I don't feel like it's that functional. And the original foam, well,
From this day on,
yeah, it had just gotten old and dried out. Although, strangely, there are pieces of a yellow foam material in here that are still intact. I don't really understand that, but okay. And then, for those who are unfamiliar with the Dial-O-Matics, they are actually the first of the clean air uprights. In a way, I think of them as the modern, or the ancestor to most modern vacuums. Because it's like, this was the first upright where we had the air path go through a filter, or in this case a bag, before going through the motor. Everything before this was kind of like a Kirby or a Sanitaire or something like that, where all the dirt had to run through the fan. So this was kind of a historic model, and I figured I should look for one and add it to my collection. But the weird thing about this is the upside down bag. I don't understand this, It just seems so dumb to put the inlet at the bottom. But, we had Panasonic later pick up the design and improve upon that, mostly by flipping that bag upside down, or right side up rather. But yeah, why don't we get on to the wattage test here. So this is where the name Dial-O-Matic comes from, at least I think. So what we have in here is we have a valve. It's kind of a C-shaped piece, and depending on what mode you have this in on, the valve turns and either closes off or opens an air path. So when we're on high, like for carpet, the tool suction will be completely blocked off, but the carpet path will be all the way open. As to where on tools, it's the opposite. The carpet path is sealed off. So let's take an airflow test at the end of this hose, and then we'll do it at the nozzle. Alright, hose set up, tool suction on high. that could do better than that. Huh. Weird. So it's the brush roll that really sounds like crap. Yeah, I mean, you know, for the first machine of its kind, it's not bad, but there was definitely a lot of room for improvement. And I think when Panasonic bought the design and created the JetFlow series, I think they did a lot better of a job with it. Because I mean, they're quite heavy, because the base is metal. The upper body, I've always kind of wondered what it was made of, but it appears to be all plastic. But it's quite a hefty machine.